to Art from the Cottage. So I've got a lovely square canvas here. I think it's 16 by 16. And as you see, I've just put some blues in the sky, kept them very dark. The colours that I'm using today are cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, yellow ochre, burnt umber, cream, white and black. I think that's all I'm using at the moment. So I put some darks in the sky and I've drawn out in pencil where I want things to be. So I'm having the cliffs and some sand and the sea and sand. So I'm going to put in some dark here where I want the cliffs. Now this is just an indication of where I want things to be. So we'll have some cliffs here like this. And you don't have to be, just have it patchy. You'll notice I've done the sky patchy. That's how I want it. So I'm going to put some, I'm going to have some sea here and some sand here. I'll just put any old colour in at the moment. What I've got on my brush at the moment. So there we go. So that's going to be sand, and I've just mixed some cerulean with a bit of white. Pop that in there. That's going to be. And as I say, it's all going to change. This is just a sketch, what I call a sketch, you know, in paint. So I'm just putting in where I want my sea and my sand to be. And I'm just using cerulean blue and white for the sea, and I'm just using some burnt umber, raw umber, yellow ochre, that kind of thing for the sand. And of course all these colours will be changed as I go along. This is just like an underlayer. So I've had a bit of a disaster with one of my favourite brushes, which is over 10 years old, and it's worn so much that it's about an inch of bristle. But it's one of my favourite brushes for putting in skies, and the top came off. It's so rusty. So I'll glue it back on. I think it'll be all right. I don't know what I'm going to do if that goes, because it's so old and it's worn down from, you know, a 2-inch brush to about half an inch. But anyway, there we are. So I'm just putting in some undercloud at the moment, and I've just decided that brown in the top left-hand corner is too light. I used raw sienna, yellow ochre and burnt umber, and I think I used too much yellow, but it doesn't matter because it'll make a nice colour. So that's what I'm just doing at the moment, putting in an indication of where I want the cloud to be. So at the moment, I've decided that I don't like that colour of the sea. So I'm making it less green and more of a pale blue. I like that pale blue look. So I've just mixed cerulean blue with and some white, quite a lot of white, cream, white and cream I think I used for that. And that's what I've done. So I'm going back to the cloud and I'm adding some more underlayers of cloud, but I'm being careful not to not to put too much of the cream in the sky. I want some the colour to show underneath it. And I'm also flitting about from one thing to another. So I'm fiddling about with the sand, at the moment, and I'm putting in some different colours, some raw sienna, burnt umber, black, a little bit of pink, and I'm putting it on with the brush, but I'm blending it into different shapes with my fingers, and I'm not doing anything uniform. It's all very rough, and you know, I'm just leaving colours underneath colours, and that's what I'm doing. I'm still working on the sound, putting it in different colours and making it, you know, different shapes and things like that. Put quite a bit of dark in there, and you can always put some light over that. Let that dry and put a bit of raw sienna or something like that. That's a nice effect. So I've decided to add some surf to that sea so that I can get an idea on how it all looks. And I'm just using my palette knife with a little bit of white, a bit of cream, maybe mainly white on that. And I'm turning my attention now back to this cloud, adding a little bit more over that underlayer, just a little bit more. And I'm being very careful not to cover. I don't want to cover that blue that's underneath there. I just want to, so to do that, you just really need to use a very small amount of your cloud, you know, whatever colour you use, green or white, a small amount, very small amount, and blend it in. And what I'm doing now is I always like my cliffs to look moody and with mist on them. So I bring down that white, what I use for the cloud, and I bring it down over that dark cliff, and it gives a lovely misty look to the painting. I don't ever leave the cliffs with a sharp edge, I don't think. I always bring a bit of mist down. I'm still putting in the underlayer of the clouds, and you know, there's about, I don't know, there's got to be at least four layers of paint on the sky alone, really. And that's what you have to do. You need to um, just do layers, layers and layers and layers. That's the key to success with paintings, I think. And you know, I've said before, these paintings, when they're varnished, it brings a whole other dimension. They look absolutely lovely in real life when they're varnished. They look like an oil painting. Sometimes I give them, you know, two or three um, coats of varnish and they look fabulous. It brings out, the minute that you put varnish on these paintings, it brings out all the colour. So that's something for you to try with your paintings too. So I'm just putting in some lighter blue still. I've decided to go even lighter, and I like it now. So that's had at least three coats of varying blues. And here's a little thing that you can do that makes your sand look good. You get a brush and put some dilute colour in the, very dilute, add some water to your paint, and then splash it on. No, it's like splashing the colour on with the with the stiff brush, and you get little. And then when you've done that, you don't just leave that. You just run your fingers through it, like you see me doing here. And you don't want all uniform spots and dots. And no, you want it. You want all marks and things in the sand. So here's a good tip. When you've put in your sea, especially if it's dark, the best thing to do is take some PVA glue and go over where you want to put the surf and let that dry and then put your white surf in, because otherwise it bleeds through. It's the bane of my life, and it bleeds through and it doesn't look good. So you might as well just, just put the PVA on. Just put it where you want the surf though. PVA is dries completely clear. So I'm just going to put in, I mean, the painting was quite nice before, but I'm just going to put in some, a couple of dots. And I just do that with my palette knife and some blue or cream. And then just run your finger underneath it. It looks like the boat. It's as simple as that. And that's how you get nice loose paintings. So I just thought I'd put these in just to show you how to do it. So the paintings that I do as demonstrations, they go into my galleries as for sale, and sometimes I take out things. I might add things. I might change the sky slightly after I've done the demonstration, but it just depends on what what I think is going to be attractive to my buyers. But anyway, the painting is finished now. There's just a little bit of just putting in some highlights in those clouds, and apart from that, it's finished. So I hope you liked the painting. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would appreciate it if you press the like button. I'd be over the moon if you did that. And also, I would really love it if you decided to subscribe to my channel. So with that, I'll say bye for now. And as always, love from Cornwall.